Welcome to the Endless Honeymoon Podcast Secret Dump.
I love a good secret dump.
I love it too. I mean, what an idea. Whose idea was it to do secrets on this podcast? I can't remember. Currently, I can't remember.
Moshe's?
Yeah, it was my idea. Natasha.
Yeah?
Should we just get right into it?
Yeah, let's get right into it.
Well, we have some listener submitted questions.
Let's do it.
And this one is, I think this is an actual dilemma. A listener wrote in and said, my girlfriend only wants to do missionary. Help. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, because like
Only missionary?
Does that mean that you're like suggesting other ways or moving her and she's like, no, thank you. And by the way, is missionary girl on bottom or just man? Like girl on top is still missionary, isn't it?
What the fuck are you talking about?
No?
Natasha, you're such a brilliant woman and so self-possessed.
I thought missionary just means you're in the straight line.
You wrote a book. You're brilliant. You're a comedic genius. And then once in a while, you reveal something about yourself. And I'm just like, how did you get to be your age and not know? Missionary position
means woman on the bottom.
Yeah, honey.
Well, what do you call woman on top laying down straight? Girl on top?
Woman on top laying down straight?
What?
You call that physiologically...
what do you call woman on top?
Woman on top.
You call it woman on top.
Riding me, the woman's on top, she's on top, it's on top, I was on top. I mean, yeah, honey, missionary is when the woman's on the bottom, the man's on the top. And you know what else? Dinner is the meal that you eat in the evening.
Well, I'm saying missionary. You don't say man on top, but you say woman on top.
No,
why does missionary get a name?
You don't say woman bent over, man behind her. You call it doggy style. It's got a name.
Do you think like 70-year-olds talk about doggy style?
I wonder how long doggy style has been. I'm sure that our grandparents said doggy style.
I'm just saying missionary style
the
is
reason
very
they call
respectable.
It missionary.
Very respectable thing to say. I could say it to my child.
That's why it's called missionary. Because it's like the religious, the what do they call it? The platonic ideal of like pure sex, which is just man on top, woman on bottom, man gazing at woman. It's like the old school fuddy-duddy. Although to be honest, missionary is pretty fun.
But you call girl bending down doggy style. You call girl turned around on top reverse
cowgirl.
Okay, those are terrible names.
What's also interesting, you don't call woman on top cowgirl.
Right, it's called woman on top. I didn't know woman. Is that really what it's called?
Laura, what would you call that? No, not missionary. No, a woman's on top. What do you call that? Woman on top. It's called on top. She was on top. What do you want from me? I didn't make this up.
I want society to fix it.
To come up with a nickname. What would you call it? Let's name it now. How about dominant matriarchy? How about matriarchy rodeo? What do you think? How about riding the dragon?
Maybe just like Guggenheim.
Guggenheim position? Yeah. She was Guggenheiming me.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, I think that...
What do you do, though, if you've got a partner that's like, I only want the most vanilla shit ever?
I think I want to figure out what to say because I do... It just feels like you should be able to... It's like a dance. Sex is like a dance. So it's like if you have to constantly lead them into other places, and if they don't... Down. Then you need to move on.
To me, that's trauma. That there's something up.
Oh, interesting.
That's what I think.
Trauma?
There's something up. If a person only can do missionary, not if they prefer it, but if they're like, I'm not comfortable doing other positions.
Do they say I'm not comfortable? Because what if you like do your reverse cowgirl?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't make it up. I didn't make it up. You're almost blaming me for it.
All these names seem like they're from like 1984.
I think that if a person, man or woman, is like, I only want missionary, there's something up. Either they're too overly religious or they have like sexual trauma. And something's up with that. And here's what I actually think. I think that you should...
go to couples therapy?
Or have a conversation.
Because what if you really love everything about them and you love missionary style with them? You just want to try like some other dumb named stuff.
Here's my best bit of advice about stuff like this in general, not just with this situation. Never have a conversation about sex during sex. Because people are insecure. already some during sex, and especially if they're like have shameful ideas of sex and their own sexuality, you never want to call it out during the sex and say, why don't we ever do other positions during the sex, because they're already in a vulnerable position. Wait until your clothes are on, you're not horny, you're having breakfast, and you have a conversation where you openly say, I think you're a fucking sexual prude. No, you openly say, I notice that you're only comfortable with missionary position, and I love it, and I love having sex with you, but I want to try other stuff. I want a little bit more variety in our sex life. Like, what is it? Why is it? And
if you're going to have this conversation over dinner with someone who could potentially be a prude, I think it might also be a nice thing to just say to them, is it okay that I'm talking about this in public? And they might say,
not in public.
Or I don't know,
At
are
this
you
Denny's.
okay with this? You know, I think that's also a nice thing to do to check in, because they might be like, actually, this is making, because you might not, someone who is only okay with missionary, I don't think wants to talk about like sex positions as waiters are like filling up your Pellegrino.
I didn't say take her out to dinner.
Oh, I thought you did.
I didn't say have this conversation at an IHOP. I was saying have it.
I was not envisioning an IHOP. I was envisioning something way nicer.
No, I'm saying have a conversation when you're not in a sexual situation or in a public situation. And yeah, I think your point is well made, which is that you say, I want to talk to you about it, and this might be a little uncomfortable, but I want to talk. It's so hard to talk about sex. But
and you think you talk about sex not during the sex? It's better to talk about it when you're not having sex.
I think that it can seem like a critique of that person's sexuality.
If you do it during sex.
Yeah. And you want to the extent that you can, you want that woman not to feel like you're saying I'm dissatisfied with you sexually, even though you are. You know, you have a conversation, and then if that person can't have that conversation, you're not sexually compatible, and you have to decide whether or not you can be with a person that you're not sexually compatible with.
And big tip in life, something that's so hard to remember, is just start with compliments.
Absolutely. I love your body. I love being with you. I love sex with you, but I'd like a little more variety. And openness is really important.
No, don't say the word variety. Just say.
I think that's okay.
Okay.
But what do you say? No, why not?
I guess that is an easier thing to say than be like, I really want to do reverse cowgirling.
I want Guggenheim. I want Peggy Guggenheim to show up in the bedroom.
Well, or does this person want to ball gag someone? Because if that's the case, I mean, you're going to be lucky if you get her to sit on your face once a month or something.
I mean, speaking of being open about things that we desire sexually and things we need more of or less of, Natasha.
Yeah.
Do you feel comfortable having this conversation?
What?
I don't know how to say this other than enough with the pegging. It's a little much. I mean, I liked it the first few times, but I don't need it every time. Enough with the pegging already. I mean, you're trying to go up in gauges. I'm trying to get rid of the practice altogether. You know? Like when you had the strap-on fist, that was like a little bit of bridge too far from me. So, that's my request.
Wish granted. Request not denied.
Nice. Okay, let's hear some secrets.
Okay, so one night I got really drunk with my boyfriend, and I don't remember, he was telling me all about it the next day, and how I was like really just going off about all my beliefs, like that I thought about the world and shit. And apparently I told him that the reason I wanted to become a lawyer was because I thought I was black in my former, past life. And it's, partly true, but also, I don't know, I just believe in reincarnation, and I definitely feel like I was definitely, a black person at least one time in my life, Asian, Mexican, who fucking cares? I don't know. I needed to tell you guys that, and thanks so much. Okay, love the show. Bye.
Well, I could say this. I would be very comfortable having you represent me in a court of law. That's for sure. You seem like you've got the vibe.
I have a very great piece of advice.
Yeah.
If you ever have an inkling or information or intuition about past lives, don't ever tell anyone.
Keep it to yourself. Yeah.
Just don't ever, because
Keep
you know
it
what?
to yourself, sister.
It actually stays stronger in you and is able to live through you if you do keep it to yourself. I do think that if you start talking about it, it goes away. So, that's something else you can tell yourself.
It's possible that she was a black woman in the past life,
No.
but by bringing it up to her boyfriend, she stopped being that?
All I'm saying is that I have things that I have feelings about that have to do with like memories or I don't know. And I feel like.
Did you reverse cowgirl someone in a past life?
No, but I just feel like if you speak of it, it's gone.
What are the odds that this woman, this white woman, who
I'm definitely not talking about her. I'm just saying.
I hear what you're saying. Now I'm moving on to a new point. What are the odds that this woman, this white lawyer, who like loves hip hop and always kind of like had an affinity for black culture and feels a little bit uncomfortable with her whiteness, happened to be lucky enough that her white liberal wet dream came true in a past life and that she was Sojourner Truth, leading people to the promised land? I hate to break it to you, you're white. By the way, you're white, and you were always white, and that is just something you're going to have to deal with. And you know what? It's difficult. It's a tough one. Believe me, I know. I too had a racial identity crisis, but you got to make peace with it, and don't go into the seas of time to try to,
But I'm just saying, like, you don't have to deny any sort of like connections that you feel. You can feel whatever you want. You just don't talk about it.
No, but what I'm saying is when I hear this woman, it's like me being like if I had a really small penis and I was like, I just get the feeling that it's one of my past lives. I was one of the most well-hung men in America. It's like, sorry, dude. Not quite. I don't think past lives.
I hear you. I'm just saying you should never speak of it. That's all I'm trying to say.
Do you believe that you had past lives?
No, not necessarily. But I do think that,
What's one of the memories that you have? Of
oh my God.
Just
No.
one.
It's
Just
not
one.
a memory. It's not a memory.
Will you just tell me one?
No. I just think that there is something to the idea that like reality isn't exactly what you think it is.
Sure.
That's all I'm saying. So sometimes, you might, I don't know, just have a connection to something.
Yeah. I mean, listen.
I'm not, by the way, not saying that's what she had. I'm just saying, do I believe in past lives? It never made sense to me because I could never figure out like there's so many more people now than there were hundreds of thousands of years ago. So aren't there like, how do we have so many souls? Then some people just don't have a soul.
Some people
are Marilyn Monroe.
Their first iteration, but some people are.
But I'm just saying, I don't know that anyone knows anything. All I'm saying is whenever it comes to that realm, you shouldn't tell people anything specific. That's all I'm saying.
And I think the problem that you are experiencing with how many people there are now versus how many people there were in the past in terms of reincarnation is probably due to the fact that reincarnation isn't real. That's just my gut feeling.
And all I'm saying is that reality is sometimes not as linear as you think it is.
Well, all I'm saying is that reality bites. And I've always said that. And that's something that I feel strongly saying.
Okay, can we just take another secret?
Let's do it.
Hi, Moshe. Hi, Natasha. Love the pod. My secret is I have a bunch of friends that are having their second kid. And my kid is 5. And I know part of me is jealous, but another part of me is excited because now when I see everybody for Christmas parties, I'm going to be the skinniest person there. Okay, thanks. Bye.
I mean, that is petty, but I guess you take what you can get, huh?
Yeah, and also it's like in terms of like you're not having another kid, you feel guilty. It's like everyone's doing what's right for them. I think a lot of people who are having 2 kids, it's just that's part of their journey. They always saw it that way. And like, I don't know, I never saw it that way. And I just don't think
always saw it that way.
Before we decided to have kids, I told you we're having one.
No, I know. I'm saying I always saw it that way. I always thought I would have more than one kid.
Okay, but you didn't have a girlfriend until you were 39? I mean, I'm just saying it's like, okay, yeah, in your imaginary world, you're like, I'd like to have a bunch of kids. And
what do you think a person's vision of their future is but an imaginary world?
Okay, I'm just saying.
I hear it. No, but I agree with you.
What I'm just saying, you don't need to feel like they have kids, but I'm skinny. What I'm saying is reframe it that like what everybody's doing is great for them, and it's great for you to be in shape and love your kid and have this smaller family, and they're gonna do their thing, and there's no competition. And it's so amazing when I was meeting people on the road when I did my book tour, And, you know,
enough about your fucking book tour.
and these women would come up to me and they would all be out together and they're like, you know, in cities, big cities, but, you know, like in Philadelphia, and they're like, oh yeah, we're best friends. Our kids are best friends. They grew up together. You know, it's like smaller, and people like are kind of growing up with their friends. And if you have tight friends that your kids get to be around, to me, that seems like as good, if not better, than having more kids, because then it's like you get to like have your orderly, nice, calm, flexible life with one kid, but then you could like go over to your friend's house every weekend and your kids are all playing together. That seems so ideal to me.
I hear you. I think families are getting smaller, actually, because I think people are looking at the reality of the world and going, I can't have a brood.
Yeah, but they need the social contact. So if it's like, if you're friends with their, you know, the kids are friends and you're friends.
Speaking of social contact, can I take our kid to a family rave?
What's that?
Like, there are these like day raves where parents will bring their kids.
I want to go.
You want to go? It's techno music. Will you come? We can all dance together?
I mean, here's the thing. I'm a great dancer. But if I don't like the music,
honey, honestly, you have two left feet.
I can't move.
You have two left feet. Everybody knows it. We all say that about you.
Your whole move is that you have two left feet. That's your dance move.
I'm actually a really good dancer, and you know that. Look me in the eye and tell me I'm not a great dancer.
I can't.
And to be honest with you, Natasha, you're a great dancer too, and I love dancing with you. And I think maybe I even fell in love with you. I remember we were at a bowling alley at an Adam Sandler holiday party, and we were dancing together, and I was like, I could marry this girl. The way she moves that thing, I'm gonna find myself a ring. All right, one more secret for the road.
Hey, Moshe and Natasha. I am calling with a secret. So I oftentimes, when I'm having a series of bad nights of rest, I will purposefully get in an argument close to bedtime with my wife because I know she's going to send me to sleep in another room. And our guest bedroom bed is super comfortable, and I get a great night's rest there.
This is insanity.
So yeah, that's my secret. I often will try to do that to make sure that I get a night's rest.
This is
after
the
having
dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Patterns of bad rest. And I love the podcast. Love you both. Thank you very much.
Change the mattress. Why does he have the nice mattress in the guest room?
Change the mattress, or tell your wife, hey, I've had a bunch of nights of bad rest. I'm going to sleep in the guest room tonight. I just need to like get a full night's sleep.
I just need more information. Is it just the mattress? Because if it's just the mattress,
we did it. We changed the mattress. We changed to Helix.
The mattress.
We got ourselves I don't even know if they're advertisers for us anymore. But we got a Helix mattress.
They are, and Helix mattresses are great.
And we got ourselves a firm Helix mattress. And honestly, it changed the way we sleep together because our old one was too soft. And now this Helix one, it's so firm that I feel like I'm sleeping alone. And that should be their motto. Helix, you'll feel like you're sleeping alone. No, but it's awesome. No, get a better mattress.
But he also has to ask himself, is it something else? Does she snore? Does he like his own space? Like, that's the thing. And I'm just saying, if that's what it is, then you need to tell her. You need to say, like, I just want to.
Why infuse negative vibes?
Why is that negative? We've had friends on the podcast say that they have separate bedrooms.
No, I'm saying, why infuse negative vibes by starting a fight? Why not just say, hon, I'm going to go sleep in the guest room tonight. I just kind of. And would you feel offended if I told you I was going to sleep in a different bed?
Slightly.
Oh, you would? Okay, then I get it. I get where he's coming from. If I was like, oh, hon, I just need to like get a full night's sleep and sleep spread out tonight. Do you mind?
Well, I would be like, is there something I can do? Am I sleeping too much?
Well, I would say, one thing you could...
I just want to go jerk off.
The one thing you could do is you could stop with all the missionary already. Enough with the pegging. I need my own space. If you'd like to leave a secret, give us a call, 213-222-8608. You can also find us on Patreon /Endless Honeymoon to support us for as little as $5 a month. You can become a part of our community. Find us on YouTube. Find us on Apple. Find us on Instagram.
Don't forget to subscribe.
We love you. And Natasha?
Yeah?
I love you.
Oh, thanks.